September, Monday. It's been years since I've written in this. I'm all grown up now. I'm a 40-year-old man who's been through high school, college, and has a stable job for the past 20 years now. I don't have any and kids. I live mostly alone. A lot has happened since middle school. Things have changed. My brother Roderick and his band, Loaded Diaper, have had good things happen to them. Now, I wouldn't say they're exactly famous, but they've gained a good following. Mom and dad are doing fine too. They're old, so they're not exactly living it up, but they aren't doing terrible either. You get the sense they don't like each other, but they can handle each other fine. And Manny, he's the whole reason why we're here. So, Manny died. But before you get your condolences, let me explain to you the manner in how he died. So it was revealed that Manny was a serial killer. People had been missing all over Plainview for years, but nobody put things together. People knew that people were going missing, but people didn't know if it was linked, if it was separate incidents or what. That is, until a collection of bodies were discovered in the woods behind Manny's house. The bodies were identified as those of the missing people. DNA also linked it to Manny as the culprit. The police came to issue an arrest at Manny's house. Manny didn't go quietly though, and shot a 22 caliber handgun at the police officers. The officer fired back, and Manny was killed in a hail of bullets. Now we're here for the funeral. I'm not gonna lie, it is uncomfortable celebrating the funeral of a serial killer, but he's our brother, so I guess we have to do it. The funeral's tomorrow. Most of us don't live in Plainview anymore, that's why we came. Right now I'm staying in a hotel. We're supposed to meet up before the funeral tomorrow. None of us met up today. To be honest, that's kind of for the better. I don't think I'm ready to handle this yet. I'd usually watch the news, but I just know they're gonna be talking about my brother, and I don't want to hear that. I'm gonna get some sleep, if I can. The day's already gonna be long enough tomorrow. Tuesday. Today was the day of the funeral. I first met up with Roderick and the rest of the family. It was super awkward. I mean, imagine if you found out your family member was a serial killer and you're seeing each other for an event centered around him. Nobody wanted to talk about it, but everyone knew it. At first, we got brunch. It was the most silent, awkward brunch ever. Nobody said a single thing. I just wanted it to be over. Then we got to the funeral. Now that was something else. During the funeral, the priest is supposed to read a thing about the person's soul passing into heaven and being with the Lord. Well, the priest had a hard time saying that and looked like he was practically forcing himself to say it. During the middle of the funeral, Mom broke down crying and started saying that he'd come so far. In case you don't know what she means by that, let's just say Manny's no stranger to getting in trouble with the law. Manny had to do a whole stint in juvenile hall because he stole a car when he was 17. He keyed it when it was in someone's driveway during the winter. When he graduated high school, it seemed like he changed his act and he went on to start multiple businesses, from car washing to sales insurance. He really didn't though, and he had charges from a bunch of things like fraud and embezzlement. He even went to therapy when he was ordered by the court and was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. Mom just never knew about it because it was easy to sweep under the rug. Someone even said he tried to hit on a minor outside the high school, but that never got anywhere. Basically, this guy has a long rap sheet. Some people would not be surprised that he managed to do something like this, and others would never suspect he could do such a thing. That's because he could manipulate some people into thinking he was friendly, but if you knew him long enough, the mask would fade out. That's why you hear a lot of conflicting things about him. Some will say he's a sleazy weirdo, while others will say he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Everyone knows the truth about him now, though, so I guess it's out in the open as to what he is, a monster. During the whole funeral, I had a weird feeling, like there was some evil presence in the room with us. The priest did his thing about how the soul never dies, and how those will live on forever. I don't know if there is an afterlife or not, but if there is, then I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people going to hell than we realize. Because if people thought Manny was a good guy, then who knows what someone else out there has gotten away with that we don't know about. Eventually, the funeral ended. When I was walking to the exit, I heard something behind me. I turned around and saw that the cross hanging up there was upside down. Now, it's probably didn't mean anything and was just the wind turning it over, but it still freaked me out. I just wanted to get out of there. Eventually, we said our goodbyes outside before we drove back to where we were staying. The rest of the day wasn't very eventful. I watched some TV and went out shopping until it was dinner. Then, after I had dinner, I fell asleep. That's when I had the dream.